Hey guys, welcome back to Paracord Planet. Today we're going to be making the Conquistador Paracord Bracelet. This is a nice flat weave that works great for paracord bracelets and for belts. Today for the project I'm going to be using about 25 feet of paracord. It's going to use between 15 and 20, but I'm just having a little bit extra just in case. We also need a 3/8 inch buckle. And then for tools, I'm going to be using a fid, but this isn't very necessary. And then I'll be making it on a jig, just so that you guys can see what's going on and that I don't shake the bracelet all over. And then of course you'll need your scissors and a lighter. Let's dive right in. So we'll start with one end of the buckle. I'm going to clip it into my jig. Then we'll take our 25 feet of paracord. You can start with about 18 feet if you'd like. The shorter your cord is, the less you're going to have to stick through each knot. If you have larger wrists, you may want to use a full 25 feet of paracord just to make sure that you have enough. So take one end of your paracord, and we're going to be passing it through the end of the buckle, up from the bottom. We're going to be doing this a total of 5 times. So up for pass number 2, leave a little bit of slack on each loop. We're going to be sticking our cord through that later. So 3rd time through. Number 4, we need a total of 4 loops, so that means we have to go through our buckle 5 times. So there's our 4 loops all side by side. And then with our end, we're going to stick that down through our loops that we made. Leave a little bit of a tail so that it doesn't fall out, but we'll be clipping that at the end. So I'm going to feed my extra cord back through so that we can use it in the rest of the bracelet. Got to make sure that your loops don't overlap each other. You want them to lay side by side nicely. All right, so I'm going to leave these loose for now, and we'll tighten them down with this end cord later. Take your other end, take the other end of your cord, all 25 feet of it, and thread your fid onto the end. This is easier with a fid, but it isn't entirely necessary. I'm going to use one, then you can see where my end is, and it doesn't get lost. All right, so we're starting at what we're going to call the bottom of the bracelet, even though it's the side. And we're going to be working our way up and then back again. We're going to start by putting our cord through that first loop. So that's coming down this direction. But then we want it to come out on this side. So this is our big loop of cord right here. We don't want it to come out here. We want it to go through that loop or above that loop. Pull all of your cord through. You have to watch out for kinks like this as you go along. In this length of cord, you'll get many of them. It's probably the trickiest thing about this bracelet is keeping your cord from getting tangled. So now we've got a single loop like that. We're going to be doing the same thing on our next row 1 loop. So we'll go down through that loop in this direction. I've been leaving these loops a little bit looser so that you can see what I'm doing. But for most of the bracelet, we're going to be tightening down each row before poking our cord through those previous rows knots. I'm going to tighten it down now. It's just getting a little bit too hectic with all my cords loose. We'll tighten down that first row first. There we go. So we've got 2 more loops to make it across this second row. So just like before, you're going to be going down through these first row loops. And pull our cord through again. There's knot number 3 done. And I'm just going to get all the twists out of my cord before I go on any farther. All right, now for that 4th knot. Poke it down through. There's our 2nd row all done. So you can start to see the pattern, but you'll see it a lot better after we go back the other direction. So it's basically the same as the step before, except our loops are laying over to the side nicer, so it's easier to tell which way is down. So we'll be putting our cord down through that first loop. And now you're going to want to make sure that you come to this side of your cord. You don't want it going through the loop like you were on the way up. All right, so there's our 3rd row all done. Now we're just going to keep on repeating that pattern from before, going back and forth until we make our full bracelet. This is a little bit more time consuming of a weave, but it's definitely worth it. All right, so we've made it to the end of the bracelet. We've got enough weave to wrap around our wrist. The only part that's left to do is to thread the other half of our buckle onto the weave. So that's going to be much the same as we did at the beginning, but we're going to have to weave it through the buckle and through our last row there. So I'm going to take my fid off because the fid does not fit through the buckle. And I've left that last row of loops loose so that I can fit the cord through without that fid. Because I've come to the bottom half of my bracelet, I'm going to be weaving the cord up through the buckle and down through the loop. So we'll pull that cord through, and then we'll go down through that first loop. So we've got our first loop through. We're just going to make our way up, going through each one of those. So we'll just follow that pattern and loop it through the remaining loops. All right, at this point we'll need some tightening down. So you can just follow your cord through. Start at the last place it was tight, so down here. And then tighten each one of those loops in turn. I'm going to use my fid just to pull at those loops so that I can feed them through. Now all that's left to do is to trim our ends. All right, so there's our bracelet all done. This bracelet's nice because it's really easy to size. I didn't have to guess my size beforehand, but I could just make it as long as I want. So this one actually fits. So if you want to make this project yourself, we'll put links in the description to where you can buy paracord and the buckle that you need for it. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, leave us a like and subscribe if you want to be updated when we post future videos. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.